ازيكم? Welcome to Folktales from Sudan. I'm your storyteller, Hana Baba. Today's story is Kiret the goat. And as always, the story is told in English with some Arabi mixed in. Okay, yallakum, here we go. قالوا كان في. There was once a goat, غنماية. Her name was Kiret. Kiret had 8 sisters, and the biggest sister was named Almi'za Saneeya. Every morning, the goats left their house and went to spend the day in the big green park to eat the fresh grass from the field, drink the cool river water, and play all day until it was time to go home right before the sun set. And every morning, Almi'za Saneeya would stand outside their house and call out to her younger sisters, "Yalla ya akhwat, yalla, it's time to go." And all the goat sisters would come and stand in a line. All of them, except Kiret. She had to stay home. She wasn't allowed to go with them to the park. Why? Well, you see, Kiret had a problem. A big problem. She did not listen and did whatever she wanted, and she never listened to her big sister. One day, all the goats were getting ready to go, and Kiret went to Almi'za Saneeya and said, "Almi'za Saneeya, ya Almi'za Saneeya, alayk Allah, alayk Allah, please let me go with you today." Almi'za Saneeya said, "Kiret, you will not go with us because you never listened to me. And the park has a big, bad marfa'in, a hyena who eats little goats. He comes out when the sun goes down. And I know if I say, yalla, it's time to go, you, Kiret, will not listen. You will stay, and the marfa'in will eat you." Kiret said, No, la. I'll listen this time. Alayk Allah, please, let me come with you, please. Kiret begged and pleaded until Almi'za Saneeya finally said, "Okay, طيب يا Kiret, okay, I will give you one last chance. You can come with us." Yay! Kiret was so excited. She gets to go to the park and eat and drink and play with her sisters. So the next morning, they all lined up and walked behind Almi'za Saneeya. They walked and walked until they reached the big park. It was beautiful. It was a sunny day and the weather was perfect. The grass was so green and the water looked so clean and fresh. Kiret couldn't believe her eyes. She ran around and jumped and skipped and hopped and played. When she got tired, she would munch on some delicious green grass and then go take some sips of the fresh river water. Then she'd go back to jumping and hopping and playing and laughing. She was having so much fun. The day went by, and when the afternoon came, the sky was starting to change colors. It was starting to become orange and pink, and that meant it was almost time for the sun to set. That's when Almi'za Saneeya stood up and called out to her sisters. "Yalla ya banat mashina al-bayt. Yalla, يلا ماشيين البيت. It's time to go home. Let's go. All the goats came one by one and stood next to Almi'za Saneeya. All the goats except one. Guess who that was? Yup, it was Kiret. Almi'za Saneeya called out again, Kiret! Kiret! Yalla al-bayt! Let's go home. Kiret was enjoying herself. She was eating some grass. She looked up to Almi'za Saneeya and said, Abit! I'm not coming. This is exactly what Almi'za Saneeya was afraid of. She tried again. Ya Kiret! Yalla al-bayt! Kiret said, Abit! I am not coming. And she continued hopping around the grass, not listening and not caring. It was getting darker. The sky was turning dark blue, and Almi'za Saneeya didn't know what to do. Then she had an idea. Maybe if she gave Kiret a little scare, she would come home with them. She wanted to teach her a lesson. So Almi'za Saneeya went to the Marfa'een's cave and she knocked on his door. He was still in bed and she said, Ya Marfa'een, Ya Marfa'een, تعال عض Kiret. Come and bite Kiret. The Marfa'een said, ليه؟ Kiret مالا? Why do you want me to bite her? Almi'za Saneeya said, أبت ترجع البيت. She wouldn't come home. Al-Marfa'een looked up from his bed and said, No, أنا ذاتي أبيت. I won't do it. Almi'za Saneeya said to herself, I need to teach him a lesson too. She walked out and she saw some dogs barking on the road. She called out to them, Ya kilab, ya kilab, ta'alu sukku al-Marfa'een. Hey dogs, come chase the hyena. The dogs said, Al-Marfa'een malu? What did the hyena do? She said, Aba ya'addi Kiret. He wouldn't bite Kiret. The dog said, Kiret mala? What did Kiret do? She said, Abat tarja al-bayt. She wouldn't go home. The dog said, No, إحنا زادنا أبينا. We won't do it. Almi'za Saneeya was frustrated. She marched away and she found a long, thick stick by the road, Asa. And she called out to it, Ya Asa, Ya Asa, ta'ali duggi al-kilab. Come and hit these dogs. The stick said, Al-kilab maalum? What did the dogs do? She said, Abo yisukku al-Marfa'een. They wouldn't chase the hyena. The stick said, Wal-Marfa'een maalu? What did the hyena do? She said, Aba ya'addi Kiret. He wouldn't bite Kiret. The stick said, Kiret mala? What did Kiret do? She said, Aba tarja al-bayt. She wouldn't go home. The stick just shrugged and said, أنا ذاتي أبيت. I won't do it. Almi'za Saneeya walked on, and she found a small fire burning in some wood. She said, Ya nar, ta'ali ahriqi al-asa. Hey fire, come burn the big stick. The fire said, Al-asa mala? What did the stick do? Almi'za Saneeya said, Abat taduk al-kilab. It wouldn't hit the dogs. The fire said, Wal-kilab maalum? What did the dogs do? She said, أبو يسكوا المرفعين. They wouldn't chase the hyena. The fire said, والمرفعين ماله? What did the hyena do? She said, أبا يعض كيريت. It wouldn't bite Kiret. Then the fire said, وكيريت ماله? What did Kiret do? Almi'za Saneeya said, أبت ترجع البيت. She wouldn't go home. The fire burned brighter and said, No, أنا ذاتي أبيت. I won't do it. Almi'za Saneeya was so tired. She was about to give up and go home when she saw a pool of water. Then she had an idea. She went over to the water and said, يا مويا, تعالي أطفي النار. Come put out the fire. The water said, النار ماله? What did the fire do? Saneeya said, أبت تحرق العصا. It wouldn't burn the big stick. The water said, والعصا ماله? What did the stick do? Saneeya said, أبت تدق الكلاب. It wouldn't hit the dogs. The water said, والكلاب مالهم? What did the dogs do? She said, أبو يسكوا المرفعين. They wouldn't chase the hyena. The water said, والمرفعين ماله? What did the hyena do? She said, أبا يعض كيريت. It wouldn't bite Kiret. She was so tired of saying this over and over again. Then the water said, وكيريت ماله? What did Kiret do? Almi'za Saneeya gathered all of her energy to say, أبت ترجع البيت. She wouldn't go home. Oh, she was so tired. Then the water said, No, أنا ذاتي أبيت. I won't do it. By now, Almi'za Saneeya was so mad. She said to the water, لو أنت أبيتي, أنا بشربك يا مويا. If you don't do it, I'll drink you all up. And she ran towards the water. The water was scared and said, La, 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 la. No, don't drink me. And she ran to the fire. The fire saw the water coming from far away, and he ran to the big stick, al-asa. The big stick saw the fire burning and coming close. He ran to who? Al-kilab, the dogs. When the dogs saw the big, long, thick stick flying in the air towards them, they ran to who? Al-marfa'een, the hyena. Al-marfa'een saw the dogs barking and running towards him. He got up from his bed and he ran towards who? Kiret. Kiret was munching on her grass, and she looked up and saw all of them running towards her. She got up and she ran all the way home. Kiret said, داني بسمع الكلام. From now on, I will always listen to my big sister. From that day, she always listened to her big sister, Almi'za Saneeya. والقصة انتهت. The end. Thanks for listening to Folktales from Sudan. All the stories in the series were adapted from stories I heard from members of my family, handed down from generation to generation. And this project is dedicated to our official family storyteller, my dear uncle, Elbagir Gaafar. Thanks to our production team, our main story consultant and editor, my mother, Nawal Jaafar. Our music is by Rami Elbagir, Muhammad Jamal, Ahmed Al-Ijil, Hassan Rabi' and Khalid Al-Mahi. Our episode art is by Waddah, Eltahir. Graphic design team is Eman, Hajali, Rudaina, Osman, and Layla, Bilal. This story was sound designed by Seth Samuel. Find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and we'd love to get your ratings and reviews. And engage with us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Folktales from Sudan. I'm your storyteller, Hana Baba. Yalla, see you in the next story. Ma'as salama.